Well, there's talks of adding a drug recovery center in Jefferson County. Caused a big reaction from those who call that area home.
In the wide open spaces of Newmarket, people like their peace and quiet.
Beautiful farms, beautiful farmland. You know, you help your neighbor, everybody's polite and nice.
But at the Equestrian Center on River Glen Farms, there's talks of Carm adding a drug rehab center somewhere on this property, giving an estimated 40 people a place to stay while they recover.
We love Carm. We just do not want the facility built here.
Folks who live nearby cite safety concerns. Even Sheriff Jeff Coffey tells us he'd be worried about security and having to additionally patrol the area.
It would bring, people into the neighborhood that would not be here otherwise.
Details on the proposal are still in the early stages. The Zoning Commission says no plans are final, as some, who are all for people getting the help they need, hope it happens a little farther away from their home.
You would think that probably Knoxville might be a better option.
In Jefferson County, Sam Luther, WVLT News.
New details about a proposed drug rehab center in Jefferson County. We told you a bit about this last night. Tonight, we hear from both sides. Our Sam Luther explains how neighbors could be impacted.
In Jefferson County, those who've battled addiction feel lost.
We just really don't have anything at all.
After 17 years of addiction, Charlotte Booker is now clean. Now, a proposed Knox Area Rescue Ministries recovery center in the open spaces of Newmarket comes with mixed reaction.
We love Carm. We just do not want the facility built here.
I hate to say it, but I can visualize them on, 11 hitchhiking.
No plans are final, but if approved, a new property would house around 40 men who are in recovery from addiction, a 12 to 18-month commitment per person, which has some in the area concerned for their safety.
It would bring, people into the neighborhood that would not be here otherwise.
But those who have battled addiction themselves say most of the time, people on drugs aren't looking to hurt anyone. Those who live nearby are in full support of the facility, but concerned there's not enough infrastructure in this area, hoping these plans get moved.
Just possibly East Knoxville, somewhere a little closer to that area.
East Knoxville, somewhere a little closer to that area.
A Carm spokesperson says wanting to go to this land is intentional, hoping a new scene far away from where many began their addiction will help them recover.
Nobody wants to become an addict, We all want to recover, and we all can recover if we find the right people too.
In Jefferson County, Sam Luther, WVLT News.
Still in the early stages here. The Jefferson County Zoning Commission is going to meet next month and talk about the plans moving forward. So obviously nothing final at this point. We'll let you know.
A Knoxville nonprofit is looking to add a program for men in Newmarket. Carm wants to open a rehabilitation program helping people with substance abuse issues, but not everyone's happy with the idea. WAT 6 on Your Side reporter Dominic Webster spent some time with residents who oppose the program taking stake in their community.
The Knoxville Area Rescue Ministry, also known as CARM, is looking to purchase property here at the River Glen Equestrian Park in Newmarket. This property would house a new men's rehab facility, and that is causing some concern for citizens.
If anybody's house and borrow anything, if I need a sandwich, I can go up there and go in the refrigerator. And, it's like a few weeks ago, there's a fire down the road. At 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, when we heard the siren, we went down to see if our neighbors need help. And we look out for one another. If they bring that kind of stuff in, then we're not going to know what's going to happen.
Unrest is one word used to describe how these residents feel if that type of facility were to come to Newmarket. They describe the community as an older one, which is an even bigger reason they do not want a rehab center near their homes.
Senior community, there are generations of people on these properties. Every addict knows that seniors have more medications than anyone else in the world. Breaking into homes, into vulnerable, fragile seniors can happen on any day, any minute of any time.
There was a community event held to talk about this proposal, and the program proposed by CARM is a 12 to 18-month work, learn, serve program specifically for men, very similar to the already existing Serenity program. All the men entering this program will be vetted through a series of interviews to ensure they are safe to attend. Now, this purchase is not yet set in stone. However, residents here wanted to make sure that they voiced their opinions and that they were heard.
Neighbors in a rural community in East Tennessee are raising concerns about a plan for a restoration program planned for New Market.
10 News reporter Krista Lucas joins us with more from the community, what they're saying and what the supporters of this move are saying as well. Krista?
John Robin, Knox Area Rescue Ministries plans to purchase more than 170 acres of the River Glen property in the Nances Grove community. The organization says it wants to create a new restoration program similar to the Serenity program for women in Knoxville, but members of that community say they worry. Carm's plan to bring a restoration program in New Market area is stirring some concern.
It's going to devaluate our property. There's no question about that.
Last Tuesday, Carm leadership held a 4-hour-long community meeting at Nances Grove in New Market. They presented their plan to about 75 members of the community.
You still have to worry about the safety and security of your home and property as well.
Carm says this is a program for men willing to work, learn, and serve a support system designed to restore them back to God, family, themselves, and the community. A community member brought me here to show me that this flag marks the beginning of the land. About half a mile of drive later, we arrive somewhere at the end.
Over to the right here, all this hillside, up to the end up there, behind all these stables.
The organization says all men entering the program go through a rigorous application process that includes interviews, mental and emotional assessments, and background screenings. They say they will not accept sex offenders.
I respect the kindness and the outreach that they want to provide to these people in need. But I ask, how would you feel if this was in your backyard, if this was adjacent to your home?
Carm says this program will work exactly like the Serenity Ministries program in Knoxville. The group calls it a pillar of the Knoxville community for decades and says neighbors there stand ready to continue the relationship and support it for the benefit of East Knoxville. We did ask Carm for an interview today, but they declined.
In Knox County, more than 500 people died from drug overdoses tied to opioids last year. That's according to the behavioral health experts at the McNabb Center. They say Knoxville is in need of rehab centers and work to expand those services. Pushback, though, on a plan in South Knoxville is hurting those efforts. 10 News reporter Maria Guzman takes us to other parts of our city seeing success with a rehab center as a neighbor.
People are dying on a daily basis, and we want to be able to respond to that.
That is how Jennifer Muse Hill describes our region's daily battle with one of the deadliest drugs, opioids. She says the vision to expand McNabb Drug Rehab Centers is to serve thousands of people, but adds that misconceptions to chronic medical issues like substance abuse keeps them from doing that.
I understand there is still a significant amount of fear and stigma that surrounds substance use disorders. I think it's really misunderstood in a lot of ways.
McNabb already has substance use treatment centers across East Tennessee. They say neighbors haven't had issues with the people they help.
As community members, we should be there to support those around us who are suffering and who need help.
Halls Elementary is at least one of 5 schools in Knox County that are close to an addiction treatment center. This is Halls Elementary, and right across the road is Knoxville Recovery Center. Schools like Bearden High School, Pond Gap Elementary, and Farragut Middle School are all within a 6-minute walk from an addiction recovery center.
It goes back to compassion and showing compassion for your fellow neighbor.
The McNabb Center says it is no longer interested in buying the South High Senior Living in Knoxville. It did plan to turn that property into a drug rehab center, but backed out after community input.